It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Our featured matchup tonight out in Toronto, where the Raptors will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Well, for Atlanta, on the road they know this is a winnable game, but it won't be easy. A quality team with their home fans behind them, always a tough challenge to overcome. On the bench for the Raptors, Coach Dwayne Casey. He's been with the franchise for a long time now. What does he mean to this team?
Well, he played in the league, and he's gotten his players to buy into his system. And that system has definitely shown results. He's the winningest coach in Toronto franchise history.
Way to bring up that he played in the league, because you know what? Most people forget that, that he was actually a player in the league and knows the system, knows his group of guys, what they need. And they've grown up, man. He's been a great mentor for these guys.
I think he's one of the most underappreciated coaches in the league. Doesn't get nearly the credit that he should get for what he's done with that ball club.
I agree.
Good. Let's go to Kevin Harlan.
Oh, Canada.
He makes it look.
Stuff.
It's an Eastern Conference battle here at the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto as the Raptors look to work their home court advantage. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. You take a look at Atlanta. They've put it all together over the course of the last 7 games. They've only had 1 loss over that span.
And they've cemented their status over the course of this season as one of the truly elite teams in the NBA. They've done everything we've expected of them.
Well, their expectations have been high, and their level of play has matched those. They've been tearing it up.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the Hawks, Schroeder and Bazemore pair up at the point and off-guard spots. Paul Millsap out there with Howard. And it's Hardaway in at the 3, the small forward. And good that time. Brent, both these teams are able to play low on the block with their back to the basket.
And how rare is that in today's game, Kevin?
Old school, you're right.
So we can slow down some possession. So if you can get some easy early opportunities, 10, 12 points that way, you know that when you settle into the half court, you've got the pace, you've got the guy you want with the ball, and you can produce points.
Now here's Schroeder following the miss by Kyle Lowry. Outside Hardaway. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, the point's not hard to come by for them, that's for sure. I'd have surrendered too if I was trying to defend against that potent attack.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
That they did, and he's the one guy on D you can't leave alone, or he's going to get to the bucket over and over. Just torched him there.
Now, here's DeRozan. Boy, he was something else against the Lakers. Valanciunas, good.
And a big height advantage right there.
And sometimes it's not just the height, it's the flow in the shooting motion. Extremely effective from the mid-range.
Here's Schroeder. In the game against Detroit, very impressive. Shot clock at 6. It's stolen by DeRozan. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle and laid in to finish the break. And it's a tie ball game.
It almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
Serge Ibaka pulls it in.
Tried to show off just a little bit there, but ultimately didn't work out. You know, he's going to get a few stares from his coaching staff and probably his teammates in the next huddle.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Here's Hardaway.
There's definitely a feeling that the Hawks are building the right way around players with great character. Hard to find a selfish player in the bunch. It's the Spurs pedigree of the front office brought over by Mike Budenholzer. They understand that the culture is a big part of building a winning organization.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
And you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
And the first one drops. Them both.
Always a steady hand there at the free throw line.
Toronto trailing. Screen by Ibaka. Lowry with the ball. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. Tucker. And that misses. That would have put him up. Hawks have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And Bazemore kicks to Hardaway. Passes it to Howard. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And Howard just shrugging off the competitive defense there, using his muscle to get the job done near the basket.
Lowry passes to Tucker. And Valanciunas kicks to DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down.
You've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. Now, here's Schroeder. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's in there.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Outside DeRozan. Valanciunas sets a screen for DeRozan. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by DeRozan. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Raptors.
You know, and you don't see them leaning too heavily one way or the other, striking a real nice balance between taking it inside and stretching the floor. That's always a sign for me of a well-coached team.
The Hawks leading by 4. Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. The Hawks working the ball around. Millsap a screen. Howard kicks to Hardaway. He tries for 3. Kept alive by Atlanta. Right side Millsap. Here's Schroeder. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
But I love when guys still use fundamentals to box out and rebound. He cleared his man out effectively on the box and then stepped towards the ball to grab it. Sometimes it's worth it to find the sliver. Excellent pass there.
And Atlanta has possession. The Raptors getting the bucket. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
And coming into the NBA, Dennis Schroeder drew comparisons to Rajon Rondo for his frame and his quickness. He's already shown himself to be a better shooter than Rondo, but his defense still has a long way to go.
That's good from Schroeder. And Brent, you think of the comparison between Rondo and Dennis Schroeder. They both have a certain cockiness to them, don't they?
Yeah, they play with some bravado out there, and that's one of the first things that you notice about Schroeder. Great confidence. He doesn't back down from the challenge that anyone offers up.
And he can't hit the second. Raptors trail by 3. Now, here's Tucker. 11 points last game. And DeRozan kicks it to Tucker. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. He nails it. And we're tied up. Lowry's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Pass to Bazemore. He kicks it to Millsap. Shot from 12. That shot is off. And Toronto will come the other way. Earlier, David Aldridge spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. Dave, what'd you find out?
Thanks, Kevin. He said, look, all they talked about before this game was defense. Going up against one of the best offensive teams in the league, he said, it's a challenge that we embrace. Nobody can do it by themselves. It's got to be a collective effort. No hero ball on offense either. Guys, we'll see if they can put the brakes on them. It's never easy. Back to you.
David, thanks for the great update, guys. What's your take on coach's strategy here?
I tell you what, he doesn't sugarcoat it at all. I mean, it's a challenge going up against a team that is just as potent offensively as this group is, and he wants his guys to be mentally prepared for it.
Yeah, I think their coach would like them to be extremely physical as well. All the strategy in the world can't make up for good old-fashioned toughness and heart.
And you see that blonde streak for Dennis Schroeder? His mother used to run a hair salon. She wanted Dennis to dye his hair blonde. Instead, he did just that spot.
Well, it's become a bit of his trademark, Kevin, and during the 15-16 NBA season, even had his number 17 emblazoned in gold back there. So it's not the only thing right now that's setting him apart. There aren't many German players in the NBA. Of course, we think of Dirk Nowitzki first, but Schroeder coming along nicely.
Now, here's Lowry. The dish to Valanciunas. And Ibaka kicks it to Tucker. Outside DeRozan. That one wide left.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Over to the left wing. And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Outside Lowry. Kicks it to Ibaka. Here's Tucker. Hits it from three-point range. Tucker's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Pass to Millsap. Dishes to Hardaway. The feed to Howard. Down low. Millsap a screen, and that one's good. Schroeder. And the Hawks lead by 1.
And Schroeder did not even have to think twice about that shot. This young man simply devours these chances inside.
Lowry against Schroeder. And Tucker has it in the corner. Valanciunas inside. He's guarded by Howard. Valanciunas, good. Valanciunas has got his second basket of the game. For Atlanta, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Bazemore passes to Schroeder. Bazemore dishes to Millsap. Bazemore gets the bucket. Bazemore's got his first basket.
The kind of unselfishness from Paul Millsap is why teammates really respect his play.
Lowry against Schroeder. A baseline J. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Lowry. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
And we're seeing less post play now than we have in the past. But big men, Brent, who know when and where to cut to the rim, are still finding plenty of opportunities to score.
Well, I think about a guy like Ed Davis in Portland, who's a great slasher.
Good example.
Long arms, in the right spot at the right time, and cleaning up misses from perimeter players who are coming in and trying attempts around the basket. The idea, Kevin, is simply this. If you play with a guy with a back to the basket and he's not drawing double teams, what he's doing for you is getting in the way. And so coaches have moved off the post-up game in the league.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto. Calderon kicks to Muscala. The rebound by Patterson.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
That's really one of his specialties, altering shots in close.
The Hawks trailing. Ilyasova with the ball. Now guarded by Pirtle. And Ilyasova throws it down.
Ilyasova playing with a high motor tonight. Lots of activity. He's good for at least a few second chance points.
Here's Pirtle. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
I'm just impressed by sheer relentlessness these teams are showing. Neither side giving an inch.
Now here's Calderon. He had 13 points in the win against Detroit. Cephalosha kicks to Muscala. Calderon has the open look. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Calderon's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And if you let Calderon get set and have a good look at the basket, he's going to knock that 3 down consistently.
And here is Joseph. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Shot clock at 5. And he overshot that one, missing. The Hawks leading. Calderon kicks to Cephalosha. Boom! He jams it straight down.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Yeah, fans are getting their money's worth already. If you like high-scoring affairs, you're in the right place.
Now here's Joseph. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. To the paint. It's stolen. They're running. Here's Caboclo. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Here's a peek now at the 2K leaderboard. This year, these teams have made the most of their offensive rebounds. In the 3rd spot, the Hawks.
One of the better rebounding teams in the league, especially on the offensive end. They never take that for granted in terms of whether the shot's going in.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. And the Raptors, they've come a long way over the past few years in terms of their competitiveness.
And what I like about the Raptors front office, they're unafraid to reshape the team when things aren't quite working. 2 years ago, they were much more about offense than defense. Last year, they were an upper echelon defensive team, even if the offense suffered a little bit.
They grabbed their own miss. Muscala, and that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
And there's the pass to Joseph. We've got 1:13 left here in the opening quarter. He dishes it to Patterson. Just 5 on the clock. That's a 2 from Powell. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. 59 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Now Calderon. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now he averages nearly 12 points a game. Dunleavy, the pass to Muscala. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The Hawks have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
First one falls for him. And the Hawks 2 seasons ago storming to 60 wins and Brent the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And along the way, a franchise best 19-game winning streak.
Well, how amazing was that month of January where they played perfect basketball. The starting five, they were all named co-players of the month. That was a first in league history. Also the franchise's first time to the conference finals in that season. But after getting swept, you know they still have some work to do.
Now here's Joseph. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Patterson can't get it to go.
Too ambitious of him there, guys. He tried to be a one-man wrecking ball instead of looking to kick the ball out for the better shot opportunity.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play. The Hawks have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
And Calderon, perhaps one of the best free throw shooters in the game, perhaps one of the best ever.
Joseph with the ball. Patterson, the screen. From deep. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Hawks lead by 8. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in the same direction.
You know, we got a group of guys who came in and bought into the offensive system, the defensive system, and it just clicked. And we got a bunch of guys in here who only want to see each other be successful, and it's rare in this league to have a team like that.
The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
I mean, you could argue it square or you could argue it round, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. Teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and tight-knit groups who are like brothers have as well. So there's no one way or magic formula.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yeah, you see they're attacking from all angles and carving out position in the paint, racing in from the perimeter. You have to box out everyone.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Muscala is out there with Dunleavy. Then there's Calderon, and it's Thabo Sefolosha, and it's Ilyasova in at the pivot, manning the middle. Well, one of the biggest names in free agency GA this past offseason was DeMar DeRozan. Many in Toronto feared he would leave the team, but he re-upped with the Raptors on a huge deal.
Yeah, and DeRozan spoke about loyalty to the franchise when he announced he wanted to return to Toronto. It's the only team he's ever played for his entire career, and easy to be loyal when you are getting almost $30 million a year. So it's a great contract for DeRozan.
Atlanta making a switch here. Schroeder's checked in. Both free throws good from DeRozan. And Atlanta has possession. 6-point lead. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And really the signature of that game was what they were able to do from a defensive standpoint, particularly on the low post.
Yeah, their block numbers in that one really stand out. They weren't giving up any easy buckets inside. It was quite a display of interior defense. Yeah, so far he has not had his usual effort in this one, and it's really hurting the team.
Calderon, that's good.
The defense slacked off a little bit. Probably didn't think he would take that one, but he made him pay.
Now here's Joseph. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Lets it go from deep. And the Raptors miss again. Atlanta leading by 9. Over to the wing. Tries to save it. Sefolosha kicks to Ilyasova. Here is Calderon. 9 points in the game so far. The 3. Goes back up. Muscala gets the bucket. And it's an 11-point Hawks lead.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And Joseph kicks to Powell. And the Raptors miss again. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Calderon, no good. The Raptors have gone 0 of 4 in the second quarter. Obviously, that needs to change. Offensive rebound.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Toronto grabs the miss.
Well, he could not have been any more wide open, guys. Wow, I bet he nails that shot next time he gets a clean look.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And DeMar DeRozan, kind of a throwback, you know, for this day and age when we talk so much about the three-point shot, because he's not a guy that's going to bomb you to death from deep. He's a high flyer who's going to attack the rim and get to the free throw line. And to me, that's extremely important, because the more attempts at the line you get, the more opportunities you have to set your defense. And so he beats people with that polished mid-range game and shoots an incredible number at that line. And those are reasons why this guy continues to improve and become one of the best at that off-guard position.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Pirtle. P.J. Tucker comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Joseph. And looking at how DeRozan gets his points last season, Greg, he made great strides in becoming a more efficient shooter.
Yeah, and for a guy who didn't take a lot of threes, the field goal accuracy wasn't all that great for a number of seasons. But last year, DeRozan was more patient, took better shots. He also became more of a conscientious playmaker, which his teammates, no doubt, appreciate.
Timeout,
Toronto calls timeout.
Start it.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Yeah, maybe these matchups aren't the best for his defense. I'm sure he's taking a long look right now at the bench to find some answers.
Brent, as we move to the middle of the season, how do coaches shift in how they prepare for games?
Well, now we're talking about, Kevin, chapters 6, 7, and 8 of the playbook. You're able to go a little bit deeper.
Yes.
You're able to start establishing new sets, and then maybe some of the wrinkles on the old sets that you started the season with. This gives you great confidence and a great challenge mentally for teams to stick with it.
Keeping it fresh for a coach, one of the main things they've got to do during a long season like this.
Well, it really helps the players' mentality to hear different words from the coaches throughout the course of the NBA season. So elusive on the offensive end, very difficult for any defense to match up against.
And Bazemore kicks to Millsap. Here's Schroeder. Doesn't go that time. And Toronto will come the other way. Now, here's Tucker. Guarded by Hardaway. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Paul Millsap picks one up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot. And last year, Kyle Lowry took another huge leap in his development, and yeah, the points, the steals, and the rebounds were fantastic, but I thought the bigger part was the fact that the discipline he showed in the offseason to drop to 25 pounds. You know, you factor that in with his shot selection, and that discipline is one reason why he was an all-star and rapidly becoming one of the very elite guards we have in our league.
And Kyle Lowry drops them both. And talking about the progression of Lowry's game, some feel his improved attitude has had a lot to do with that.
You hit it. He was hard-headed when he came into the league. Didn't always get along with his coaches. Now, though, his maturity, his real confidence, those are areas of growth that have allowed him to just settle in and play his game.
So it's Atlanta now. The Raptors knocking down the tray. Power dishes to Schroeder. He feeds it to Hardaway. Bazemore passes to Millsap. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. And that one comes up a bit short. Atlanta leading by 3. Millsap kicks to Hardaway.
Out of bounds.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no doubt they score.
Well, coaches always tell you, if you take a chance, you better get it.
And Toronto making a change here. Joseph's checked in. Millsap a screen. And it's Schroeder missing. Millsap dishes to Howard. And nothing is falling for him right now. And here's the fast break. Here's Joseph. And they cash in right away with the quick shot. Joseph's got his first points of the night.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Schroeder with the ball. It's Ibaka picking him up. Here's Millsap. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, as people start to put together underrated lists, Paul Millsap at the power forward or small forward position comes up quite a bit. It's been that way for his entire career. Drafted 47th in 2006. And all he'd done at Louisiana Tech was lead the nation in rebounding, an unprecedented 3 consecutive seasons.
And that one falls for Paul Millsap. And for Millsap, he's never been the most explosive athlete or Brent the most imposing to look at. Really, he's undersized at 6'8".
Well, I think a lot of coaches out there who covet a skill set of somebody at his size didn't misread him. That's why he's having the success he's had the past couple of seasons.
And so Paul Millsap nails both of them. Raptors trail by 3. Now here's Joseph. Ibaka outside. Shoots. Rebounded by the Hawks. Howard's got 5 rebounds tonight. In the corner, Hardaway with it. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
Of course, 2 Canadian teams were born to the NBA in '95, but back in 2001, the Vancouver Grizzlies became the Memphis Grizzlies, leaving the Toronto Raptors as the sole Canadian survivor.
Here's Joseph, rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
What's interesting about the Raptors and Grizzlies when they first entered the league, the Grizzlies were actually the team that seemed to be on the track for big things, but lately the tables have really turned.
Yeah, and what's surprising to me is that as we've tried to appeal to more people in more countries with our game, we still have only one franchise located outside of the U.S., and that's the Raptors. The NBA is seeing a rejuvenation in revenues, but if we want that growth to maximize, we may need to try and broaden our international horizon.
First free throw is good.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. All these days, teams have really gone away from offensive rebounding, transition defense, such an imperative.
Well, I think Greg Popovich started it off in San Antonio, and then Doc Rivers adopted it in Boston for many years because the numbers will tell you the percentage chances of grabbing an offensive rebound for your basketball team are not very good. And if you take those kind of risks, calculated as they might be, it's a disadvantage for you to get back in transition and set up your defense. So a lot more teams adopting the 4-back and 1 take a chance at the offensive rebound mentality.
Part of that analytics contribution we're talking about before. Things like that point those things out to the play.
Yeah, and the numbers aren't lying.
Right, exactly. Here's Hardaway. After the Raptors pick up 2. Millsap passes to Howard. Bazemore for 3, and that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Bazemore's got 4 this quarter.
And the 3-point shot is something Bazemore has improved steadily over his career. You can't give him room like that to fire.
And Valanciunas kicks to Joseph. Ibaka with a screen on Schroeder. Now here's Joseph. He's guarded closely. That's miss number 3 for him. Now 2 for 5 from the floor. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Teardrop shot. And it's blocked by Ibaka.
And well, he's been the NBA's leader in blocks multiple times. Ibaka just has that rare instinct for it.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Patterson comes in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Caboclo in for DeMar DeRozan. Here's Schroeder. Rebound by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And Tucker kicks to Patterson. The shot misses. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Hawks leading by 5. Howard dishes to Hardaway. From beyond the arc. The rebound by Patterson.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Here's Valanciunas. Good D by Hardaway.
I have no clue what happened with the defense there, but they should be thanking their lucky stars that somehow he bricked that golden opportunity.
Now here's Schroeder, and stolen by Patterson. Now the Raptors moving it up. That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Caboclo.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Here's Schroeder. Feeds it to Bazemore. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
Well, a good first quarter, good second. This could be a big night.
Atlanta making some changes. Dunleavy comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Calderon in for Dennis Schroeder. For Atlanta, they have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. And the Hawks, Brent, going with the brand revamp, throwback logo, new uniforms. How do you like the new look?
Yeah, they're not bad. I don't like when they mismatch the jerseys, Kevin. You know, they'll do the red on the bottom with the charcoal gray on top. I get a little bit confused. I'm more of a traditionalist that way, but we haven't seen a lot of neon in the NBA, but the Hawks bringing it in. And I also, Kevin, like the way that some of the franchises recently have gone to the new almost soccer circular logo. So I like the way Atlanta has situated themselves with that sort of style.
Millsap misses. Raptors trail by 4. Screen by Valanciunas. Here's Caboclo, and again it's Toronto converting.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Calderon passes to Bazemore. Calderon kicks to Howard. Millsap a screen. Howard dishes to Calderon. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Howard's got 3 assists now in this one.
And I love how calm and collected Calderon was on that little finish inside.
Now here's Tucker. He has 6. It's stolen by Calderon. And finished off by Millsap.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one.
Yeah, he plays with a bit of a sixth sense around the offensive glass. Perfect position for the easy tip-in.
Calderon passes to Bazemore. He kicks it to Millsap. The dish to Calderon. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Down low. Howard trying to free himself up. And Calderon gets it to go on the assist by Howard. Howard's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Caboclo kicks it to Tucker. Screened by Valanciunas. Patterson dishes to Joseph. Passes to Tucker. 6 on the shot clock. Valanciunas passes to Tucker. Offensive rebound.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Pass to Bazemore. Howard kicks to Calderon. Screen by Howard. Pass to Bazemore. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. And when you talk about all-time career numbers, there is one name in NBA history that shows up time and time again. Wilt Chamberlain, Wilt the Stilt, with 23,924 rebounds. His name synonymous with greatness on the basketball court.
And guys, I don't think there will ever be another player that will dominate their position like Wilt Chamberlain did. And it's those rebounding numbers that paint the picture the most clearly. I mean, Wilt averaged almost 23 rebounds a game. Not just over a season, folks, over the course of his entire career. 11 rebounding titles, and his career total just shy of 24,000. I mean, nobody in the modern era has even come close to that.
And Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer named the 2015 Coach of the Year in the NBA after their impressive run to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
You think about the intricacies of the system that Coach Bud watched for so many years in San Antonio, and to be able to step into Atlanta, grab a group of players, and get them to operate on that kind of level. Just a fantastic job by Mike Budenholzer moving forward.
Now here's Joseph. And here is Pirtle. Kicks it to Powell. Patterson. It's good on the putback.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Craig, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Now Bazemore. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit. From deep. Powell pulls it in. Raptors trail by 6.
Yeah, the shot clock's off. This could be the last possession of the quarter.
It will be if they play this right. Definitely should hold it for the last shot.
The Raptors have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Powell.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
So he gets them both. 16 seconds left here in the second. Now here's Calderon. He's covered by Joseph. Calderon kicks to Dunleavy. Back to Calderon. With 1 on the clock. And no good trying to get that one. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Hawks on top, up 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Mike Budenholzer. Your defense has been very good. Why has that happened?
Well, you know, I think our guys are committed on that end. Everybody's active, everybody's covering for each other, and we know how important it is.
Mike, we'll see if it continues in the next quarter. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny Smith, right there, and Shaquille O'Neal, he's right there. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They hold a 4-point lead. Starting with Kenny, your take.
Well, they're putting bodies on people. If you just look at the rebounding numbers, you could tell that they've been putting their body on and being more physical than the other team. Now, that fact looms large on both sides, and that's going to be the difference in the second half.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
Well, they need to strike a balance between being aggressive and being too aggressive. You know, Ernie, you need to be solid defensively at the same time, but not get pushed around. I think they're giving up a lot of free throws, way too many. They need to go back to playing solid, fundamental defense and build the energy from there.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. What can you say? Jose Calderon, an impressive effort here today.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
Might also look at the coach and his game plan in terms of trying to find those good looks. They'll be looking to do the same here down the stretch.
They've got Norman Powell. Baca is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas, and it's DeRozan in at the 2-guard spot. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors.
And love seeing Howard rise up and reject shooters. Just a juggernaut on defense.
The Hawks leading by 4. Here's Hardaway, and then Hardaway with the dunk.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the 2-hand slam. And here are the Raptors now. Powell with it. Dishes to Valanciunas. Shoots from 12. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Valanciunas has got 10. The Hawks shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Second half just getting started, about a minute played. Here's Howard. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. Moment here now for an injury report. Now for an update on Kyle Lowry's injury. Let's go to David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a status report from the Raptors head athletic trainer. Unfortunately, it does not look good at all. We're well into this season, and that is the last thing this team needed. And that's going to make things much harder for them down the road. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
And almost for every player, it's inevitable. I mean, injuries are going to happen no matter how well you take care of yourself.
Well, for how hard he competes in the game, you know he's going to do just the same when it comes to rehab. He may recover faster than most because of it.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Raptors have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10. The free throw drops for Valanciunas. And the former 5th overall pick back in the 2011 draft, Valanciunas is still only scratching, people feel, the surface of his true potential.
And he's had a few bouts with the injury bug, Kevin, but when he's right, he's a load. Struggles defending on the perimeter, but his rebounding and rim protection have gotten more nasty as he's matured.
Now here's Valanciunas. He's got 11. Now, here's Tucker, guarded by Hardaway from about 19 feet. Rebound, Atlanta. Here's Schroeder. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. And it's off from three-point range. Raptors trail by 5. Now, here's DeRozan. He's got 12. Launches a 3. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Howard's got rebound number 13 with that last one. Millsap. Another shot. Here's Hardaway. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
And Brent, going back a few years to your formative playing days in high school, you played at one of the bigger powerhouse high schools in California. How did playing on such a team that had such high expectations at that early age help your skill level and your overall basketball development?
Well, going to De La Salle High School, if I really wanted success, I should have been a kicker because the football team was off the charts. But we did have great success in basketball, and I did watch my 2 older brothers play at the school, so I understood what the program was about, what kind of expectations there were from the coaches with regards to accountability.
I bet you would have been a pretty good wide receiver.
I might have been, at least for one play, until a linebacker or a cornerback would cut me in half.
Barry going deep. He's got the ball, and there he goes. Screen by Howard. Hardaway passes to Schroeder. Shoots it. Atlanta again missing.
Ill-advised shot there.
And he knows it. Got locked into scoring mode. Couldn't pull it back.
So it's Atlanta now. 4-point game. To the middle. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Hardaway hits them both. Raptors trail by 6. And here's DeRozan. 16 points for him. It's deflected. Millsap with the steal. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
2 shots.
Millsap gets the contact and marches his way confidently to the free throw line. Exact kind of leadership you would expect from him. Well, you have to talk about Paul Millsap with glowing remarks to his skill set. It's one of the most skilled power forwards the NBA has, and you look up and down the stat sheet, he'll do it all. He'll block and steal and rebound and have assists. And oh, by the way, now able to stretch the floor out as a 3-point shooter.
And Millsap, since moving to the Eastern Conference, Brent, finally enjoying the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, a multiple-time All-Star, and he just keeps getting better. Even as he enters his 30s, Paul Millsap puts up impressive statistics.
He's perfect from the line this time.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Here's DeRozan. And yes, it's good. DeRozan's got 6 in the quarter.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Maybe a great run of games coming here. Let's see if he can keep building on this performance.
Schroeder against Lowry. Here's Ibaka. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Now just a 4-point Hawks lead. The Hawks have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Now Schroeder. Now the feed to Bazemore. Rebound by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. And finished off by DeRozan.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Now here's Schroeder. Outside Hardaway. Now the pass to Millsap. Hawks passing it around. Howard. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And Dwight Howard, you know, he's lost some explosiveness over the years, but still remains an intimidating presence when he's healthy. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call him a number 1 option on the offensive end, but still great in the pick and roll, better than most when it comes to posting, and defensively, when he's moving well, a straight beast.
Free throw good, Howard. And talking about Howard's defense, he's blocking fewer shots these days, but he remains extremely difficult to score against in the paint.
Yeah, statistically, opponents still struggle to shoot against him. He has the power and instincts to stop most true centers from getting comfortable on the blocks, and his reputation goes a long way toward unnerving opponents.
And both free throws good for Howard.
And the defensive prowess of Howard is simply phenomenal. Not only a shot blocking master, but his mere presence alone makes shooters incredibly nervous.
The Hawks leading. Sefolosha with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Calderon up top. Now recovering in the corner. Hardaway with it. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Sefolosha. That one wide left.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out.
Can't keep forcing things when you're not in a great rhythm. Move the ball.
Here's the screen. He dishes it to Ilyasova. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And that's just super strength there by Howard. So good at connecting on these shots despite the contact.
Caboclo, he's checked in for Serge Ibaka. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Atlanta. And that one falls for Howard. Raptors trail by 3. Outside Lowry. Passes it to Caboclo. He feeds it to Patterson. Clock at 6. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Mike Muscala is checked in for Dwight Howard. Lowry from outside. Another shot, Caboclo, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as he'd like.
Here's Calderon. He's got 13. Ilyasova is screen on Lowry. Calderon kicks to Muscala. Sefolosha dishes to Ilyasova. And it's good. 2 points. And the Hawks lead by 2.
Easy to forget that Ilyasova can handle his business down there on the block, but he's much more of a spot-up guy.
Caboclo, the pass to Lowry. Patterson setting the pick for Lowry. For the lead. Offensive rebound, but they get it back. Pass to Caboclo. Back to Lowry. Shot clock at 5. Tries yet again. Again, the miss by Lowry.
Well, he's seen it before where he can light it up with the best in the league, but right now, he just does not have the touch.
Now here's Ilyasova. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Sefolosha dishes to Ilyasova. Excellent use of the screen that time. Now it's a 4-point Atlanta lead.
That's a good example of the scoring mentality that Ilyasova has. When the ball comes to him, the first thing he checks is if he can get a shot up.
Now here's DeRozan. He's got 20. Here's Patterson. And the layup's good off the glass. Patterson's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Ilyasova is screen on Lowry. The kick out to Ilyasova. Now here is Sefolosha. D right on him. Muscala, the pass to Ilyasova. Calderon for 3, makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
All sorts of pressure coming his way on that shot, but Calderon wasn't fazed in the slightest.
Patterson, the screen, feeds it to DeRozan. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. DeRozan's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
You love to see the resolve from an offensive player after a disappointing first half. He's been terrific here in the second.
Dunleavy kicks to Calderon. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Calderon's got 18 points in the game.
Well, the shooting percentage is excellent so far, and without him, they might not have the lead like they do now.
Nice shot by Pirtle.
When Pirtle gets the rock deep inside, the D is toast. Can't allow him to get comfortable from there.
Cephalosha kicks to Ilyasova. Ilyasova is screen on Lowry. The dish to Ilyasova. Back to Cephalosha. In the corner, it's Dunleavy. Another three for Atlanta.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
And they pick up 2. That's now 8 points for Jakob Pirtle.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And here's Calderon. 18 points for him. He kicks it to Ilyasova. Now Calderon. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. And a look here at the shot chart.
And the work he's doing from deep has been fun to watch. Great looks, and he's knocking them down. His ability and threat to drop those long-range bombs on a defense really makes their offense click.
The Hawks leading by 4. And 1:01 left in the third quarter. Out to the right wing. Here's Cephalosha. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And the team has gotten it done here in spite of his performance. Still 0 from the field.
Calderon kicks to Ilyasova. Calderon dishes to Muscala. Back to Calderon. They set the pick. Off the screen. Uses the glass to drop it in. Calderon's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, he doesn't score as much as he used to, but Calderon seeming to be turning back the clock a little bit here today.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Well, he has a great ability to lead his man with the pass, puts him in great position to score.
And the Raptors with some changes. Powell, he's jacked in for DeRozan. And it's Joseph in for Caboclo. The Raptors have gone 9 of 13 from the line. That free throw good from Patterson. Atlanta's gone into the 3-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Calderon with it. 20 points for him. Good if it goes. No good on that last second attempt there. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Hawks lead by 1. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We got to keep the ball moving, keep drawing and kicking, all right? Then look at the outlets, make sure again, our bigs, we got to get space. When we're driving, we got to give the ball room.
Looking to stay active on offense, Dwayne Casey asking his guys to apply a lot of movement and a lot of pressure.
And he wants them to go beyond just swinging it around the horn. It's about driving, dishing, and playing inside out.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. The Hawks leading. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Ilyasova out there with Muscala. Then there's Hardaway. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Cephalosha in at the 2 spot. Here's Lowry. And he gets the bucket. Lowry's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Toronto. Went right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Now here's Schroeder. Ilyasova passes to Cephalosha. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. The Raptors shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Now here's Joseph. He's guarded by Schroeder. Pass to Lowry. Lets the three fly. Lowry can't get that one to fall.
Man, just imagine how much they'd be up by, guys, if his shot was going in.
Hardaway kicks to Ilyasova. Nice feed from Valanciunas.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
Dishes to Joseph. To the middle. Here's Lowry. Right through the D for the layup. And it's a three-point Toronto lead.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here is Cephalosha. Kicks to Ilyasova. The feed now to Schroeder. Hardaway, no good.
Well, the defense ready for him there in prevent mode, making sure that he didn't get a clean look at that layup.
Ibaka with the screen on Hardaway. The shot by Powell, no good.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Right wing. Now the pass to Muscala. He dishes it to Cephalosha. He feeds it to Schroeder. Clock at 4. And nothing but air on that one.
And he's not picking his spots out there right now, at least not well. He's forcing low percentage opportunities, and it's no surprise the frustration right there on his face.
Powell dishes to Valanciunas. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
There's the screen. Hardaway passes to Muscala. The three from Cephalosha. That shot off the mark. And Toronto will go the other way with it.
Well, both him and the team seem to be off their game right now, and the frustration is clearly mounting as the clock is winding down.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Brilliant move, feeding him down the stretch. That last one was a dagger.
And one thing about Kyle Lowry, he's an absolute pit bull out there, and he's been that way since he was a 5-star recruit out of high school in Philadelphia.
Yeah, less about the sizzle, more about the steak. Physical, relentless, wears you down on both ends of the court, and for the last 2 seasons, a starter in the All-Star game. His toughness and leadership, championship qualities.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Toronto. Atlanta also making some changes here. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Millsap comes in for Muscala. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Thabo Cephalosha. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team during the break. He knows his team is struggling tonight from the three-point line, so he told them to go for more quality shots inside. We're shooting way too many threes, he said. No more Hail Marys. Let's get inside to the post. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. Here's Bazemore following the score by Serge Ibaka. From 15 feet away, misses off the right iron.
Yeah, credit the D there. Got his hands up and made sure he wasn't comfortable on the release.
Well, sometimes coaches just tell you about changing shots rather than blocking shots. Something like that won't show up in the stat sheet, but just as important, trust me, coaches know.
Millsap a screen on Lowry. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. He used that pick to get in close.
Well, Millsap really wants the shot anytime he can get it from there. That's his comfort zone.
And it's the Raptors ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Screen by Ibaka. And stolen by Bazemore. Right side Hardaway. Right through the D for the layup. And now it's only a 5-point Toronto lead.
Not phased at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
Well, if he was wearing a badge, it'd be one of courage. He rose up and actually took that shot.
Ibaka, no luck. The Hawks trail by 5. To the paint, here's Howard, and it's slammed in by Howard.
And these dunk attempts are just too easy for Howard. All he has to do is rise up, and he's golden.
The Raptors have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Here's Lowry, and it comes off the front of the rim.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage, even though it was all over.
Here's Hardaway. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Hardaway has got 11 points here in just the second half. Toronto's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Powell dishes to Lowry. From the top of the key, and that one comes up a bit short.
Well, he really T-Rexed that one, guys, short-arming it. He should have taken more time to make sure he was comfortable shooting.
To the middle, here's Tucker, and so the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last. And the Raptors making a change here. DeRozan's checked in. And the Raptors miss again.
Ill-advised shot there.
And he knows it. Got locked into scoring mode. Couldn't pull it back.
And that one's good. Schroeder.
He can be just lethal from the perimeter. Even though he didn't get good looks in the first quarter, will that make right there? That could change things.
Now here is Lowry. Screened by Ibaka to stop the drought. That shot off.
He got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Two shots.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Raptors trail by 3. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
And not entering the league as a natural catch-and-shoot guy, Ibaka certainly has developed this part of his game.
Schroeder kicks to Howard. Passes to Hardaway. The Hawks working the ball around. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Patrick Patterson,
shot,
he's checked in for Serge Ibaka. That one misses for Millsap. The Raptors have gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%.
Well, he made 1 3 in the first half, but he hasn't found a way to connect again from outside during the second.
And it's slammed in by Howard.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. The 17-footer. And the shot is long.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
Yeah, he sat in that mid-range area, which can be a no-man's land defensively, but he quickly moved over to contest.
Now, here's Millsap following the miss by DeRozan. Can't cash in from close range.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Here is Lowry. Back to DeRozan. Patterson, the screen. 6 on the shot clock. A shot. Back to Lowry. Outside DeRozan. And Valanciunas kicks to Patterson. No good there. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Hawks leading by 5. Here's Bazemore. Nice D from DeRozan.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
All instinctual because he knows where he needs to go and then force the opponent to do something about it.
And he gets it to go. DeRozan's got 24.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
And he's not a guy you can give open looks to. The D has to be better. Got to learn a lesson there.
Now here's Schroeder. To the middle. And Millsap slams it in.
And that's why Millsap is such a counted-on player. Just knows how to hit the big ones.
Raptors trail by 5. Now here's Lowry. Pass to Patterson. No good on the triple. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Here's Hardaway. Oh, that's blocked. Outside DeRozan. Feeds to Valanciunas. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. And he knocks down the first one. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Here's Schroeder. To the right side. Millsap passes to Howard. Bazemore dishes to Hardaway. He kicks to Schroeder. Shot clock at 5. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And the Hawks lead by 5.
And that's why Schroeder is a player you want on your team because he knows how to come up with huge plays in big situations.
And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. Right on the bucket. Valanciunas has got 10 points in the quarter.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Screen by Howard. Now the dish to Millsap. Back to Schroeder. Tries a 3. The shot comes out. Good work defensively by Lowry. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operation.
And it's DeRozan missing. The Hawks leading by 3. We've got 1:08 left in the 4th. Hardaway kicks it to Bazemore. Down low. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Tucker dishes to Patterson. Good work defensively by Millsap. Atlanta's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Hardaway kicks to Millsap. Inside, Schroeder. It's good!
Nice to see a young player like Schroeder step up, show some confidence, and get a huge basket for his ball club. Energizes the entire team.
Toronto calls timeout. They're down by 5. 41 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for the Raptors. 41 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Rebounded by Howard. And now they decide to foul intentionally. .34 seconds left in the game. And an intentional foul right there. He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
And those attempts right now at the charity stripe are helping them pull away.
Toronto calls timeout. They're down by 7. 34 seconds left in the game. Guys, what's your take?
And you know what? They're not ready to give up yet. They'll try to intentionally foul if they can get a quick hoop.
.34 seconds left in the fourth. Lowry passes to Tucker, but they recover it.
Yeah, maybe a little luck, maybe a little bit of heart. Both of those at play here. He's getting every offensive rebound.
And this is where Ibaka's steely demeanor serves him well. No hesitation under pressure.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Toronto calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul would make things interesting.
Definitely. Everything has to happen perfectly just to give them a chance.
And it's the Raptors ball. The wide open look here for DeRozan. His three-pointers off the mark. And so they foul intentionally. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he does get the second one. And that makes it a 7-point lead.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Yep, if you could write, you'd put this one in a book.
And Valanciunas kicks to Ibaka. Pass to Valanciunas. Dishes it to Lowry. And the Raptors miss again. And so it's Atlanta with the W. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. You were able to fill up the box tonight. What was working for you?
Man, forget the line, man. I'm just glad we came out here. We played our hearts out. It's a good team we played tonight, but we stuck with it and we fought it out and won the game.
Great job hanging in there, Paul. Thanks again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul Millsap. Of course he had a double-double. Had guys on their heels the entire night trying to match up with him, but he's just too good.
What a night this turned out to be for Paul Millsap. He came to life in this ball game. Facing up, attacking off the dribble, his ability to do everything out there brought his team the win tonight.
He's a road warrior because he was on that edge in that game tonight. Oh, my boy. That's what we don't always see from this guy. But tonight, road warrior.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, a spectacular, just great. I mean, see ya.
Good night.